Hello, and welcome to the School of ASMR, the online edition. Are you looking to become an ASMR creator, whether it be for your own personal use or to distribute online on video sharing websites? Then you have come to the right place. Today we will go through what it takes to be a successful creator. So first of all, we are going to start with the equipment. So the equipment that you will probably need to start off with, if you really want to go basic, is probably just your mobile phone. You can create what they call lo-fi ASMR using your mobile, but the sound is actually still what they would class as not quite really true binaural, but ear to ear. And that means that you can hear it from one ear to the other. So can you please ensure that you have headphones or earphones on right now? I'll give you a little time because I am going to be demonstrating some of these things as well. Perfect. Yep, I see you're all typing. Yep. Okay, lovely. Okay. So, you are hearing this in your right ear, and you are hearing this in your left ear. Often the sound overlaps slightly, but that is what binaural sound is. So you can get closer to one side than the other. Some folk don't use microphones that are set for things like that. They just use one microphone that is coming out of both ears at all times. It's completely up to you. But if you want to create more of a professional, high quality sounding content, that is probably what you want to invest in. Okay, so the camera I'm using at the moment is a Sony. I can't quite remember the complete name of it, but it is it's an HD 1080p camera, very high quality, high definition. That is combined with 3 studio lights at the moment. They are making the camera better quality because the camera can now be at a lower exposure, which limits the fuzzy look, and the lights are doing most of the work. These are all things that you can think about once you start gaining a big audience. If you ever do, some people don't. That's fine. You have to be okay with that. But these are things that people like to invest in probably once they start making a bit of money. But if you have the money to invest straight away, then perfect. You'll be off with a bang. So there's a ring light and there are 2 studio box lights. Okay. Microphones, I'm using 2 Rode shotgun microphones, NTG something. They're just Rode shotgun mics, you know. And then I am using the Zoom H5 to record the sound onto. And that is plugged in via a USB cable into a mains cable, and that powers it. You don't really want to use batteries in it, they wear out so quickly. Okay, and another microphone you could think of investing in are the Blue Yetis. They are perfect, in my opinion, beginner microphones. And a lot of people like to use them bare because the sound is crisper. And I'm using my Rode Spare at the moment for a better sound for you as well. So these have different settings. Binaural, where it comes from the sides and the front, or just the front and back. If you're doing an interview with somebody, it then is both sides. And that can all be changed with a button on the back. This is the Blue Yeti X, it's the newer version, but I also have the normal Blue Yeti, and that is fantastic sound quality as well. The only thing that I possibly don't like is, well, it's great if you're doing live streams because it's a USB mic. That's okay, but if I'm filming anything downstairs, that's not where my computer is. And for some reason, the sound sometimes messes up on my laptop. But I do have a really long cable going from my computer downstairs, but you just don't know if something's happened and it's not recording any longer, and you could have done a whole video and it never recorded. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, so you can buy different... Oh, and make sure before you start that your phone is on silent. Your loved ones will always use this time when you're recording to send you messages. Okay. So that's the lesson in itself. Right, yes, sorry, back to your question. You can customise its wigs, is what I like to say. So I will just show you. You will also, as you go along, collect a lot of different ASMR items, and you'll probably find you need some kind of storage for them. So I have a couple of storage boxes there that I will go through with you in a second. So we have a furry mic hat. That can just go on there. And then you can play with it and it creates some wonderful sounds on there. Okay, but this is the basic one. If you're going to do some close-up whispers, you don't really want there not to be a wig on there. Just creates harsh sounds otherwise. Okay. Oh, and another thing you might not think about is your background. Try to make sure your background is tidy or aesthetically pleasing in some way. The background for this call at the moment is so-so. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about it, really. But I often try to put a plant in the background, or perhaps maybe light a candle or something like that. And also perhaps think about what you're wearing and if it's appropriate for the type of video you're doing. Okay. Actually, while I'm talking about that, you may also be expected by your viewers, if you have been lucky enough to get a good viewership, you may be asked to do role plays. So you may need to invest, or you may like to invest in some equipment for that. For example, this is a dentistry kit. Sorry, as you can see, I tapped that already because I'm in ASMR mode. So this is wonderful for a dentist roleplay. You have all the equipment you would need to perform fake dental work on your patient, which is your camera. That's a good thing to remember as well. Most of the time you are performing any activity on the camera to make it look like you are performing it on the viewer. Okay, so this is a very fancy looking one, but it really was inexpensive, to be honest. Okay. And if you are showing anything to your viewers, perhaps just remember to perhaps run a finger or two or your hand down the object. Do a bit of a scratching, maybe a tapping on it. Okay. Doctor roleplays are very popular as well. You can invest a little bit of money in a kit which contains a blood pressure monitor. And these have a stethoscope in there as well. Okay, and that's quite a fancy one. It comes with a proper, you know, pump bottle and everything, and yeah, and these all come in lovely carry cases, so they are so easy to store away and then neat and tidy, which is what you want. Because of course, remember when you're purchasing anything, that most of the time they will just be stored away in a room somewhere. Okay? Right. And of course you have eye exam role plays, and and do not forget as a doctor to put on your gloves. These are a very, very popular trigger for people because they sound so good and they give a really realistic doctor's examination, because doctors should wear gloves when they're examining you. Okay, so now let's talk about your basic trigger arsenal. So you will probably accumulate a lot of different items over the years that could be very tingly and triggering to people in a good way. So often if I do videos, it's just normal everyday things. Makeup remover wipes make a lovely crinkly sound. Or perhaps, crisp packets. You could even use little controller sounds. It's actually a mini keyboard to use at a distance from a computer, so you don't have to keep getting up, They do make lovely sounds. So these are things you would probably have lying around and make use for anyway. However, I do have a case here with some random things in here. And these are slimy things, and these squishy, foamy things, which are an absolute nightmare. Sticky sounds are a good one as well. So I have them, or squishy water bead filled objects, which all have glitter and beads stuck to them. Okay. Slime went through a really popular phase. I think it is still. Oh, and lid opening as well. Don't forget that everything you do to get to the trigger that you're wanting is also, or can also be, ASMR. So the purpose of this, for example, would be to do a slime video, but on the way to opening the slime, perhaps the viewer would like to hear some lid opening sounds. Okay? And we have some slime. Okay? Right. And you also have the way you speak as well. So I'm speaking in what they would call soft spoken, maybe more soft spoken to slightly normal voice, whereas you can also get people whispering as well. And also some people whisper in a very mouth soundy kind of way. So and yeah, it's like hello, I am whispering, but you can hear all my mouth sounds. And also I can whisper really, really, really slowly. Okay? All your viewers are different. You do soft spoken, they'll be crying out for whispering. You do whispering, they'll want soft spoken. Life of an ASMR creator. You can never please everyone. Sometimes you feel like you can't make anyone happy, but that is the way. Okay, so also you can get no audio, more visual ASMR. And we're talking about maybe some hand movements, but you'd be slightly perhaps closer to the viewer. Some hand movements, some face touching on the camera, very close up, and perhaps you can brush the camera, which would be like brushing their face, or maybe even brushing your own face to cause ASMR to somebody else. But obviously brushing sounds are wonderful as well. So yeah, I hope this helps somewhat. ASMR can be found in many things and many actions as well that can turn into role plays. So putting on your makeup role play, measuring you role play, that's another one. So you get the nice sound of the tape measure, but also the intimacy of being up close to the viewer and measuring them, perhaps for a suit fitting or something. And obviously your doctor and dentist role play and all sorts of weird and wonderful role plays that you can come up with and have fun with it. That's the important thing, is to have fun, but be relaxing, be kind to your viewers, and just get out there and start creating. Okay, any questions at all? Okay, wonderful, wonderful guys, wonderful. So take care of yourselves and stay safe and happy ASMRing. Bye.